Now, this guy is absolutely a master troll.
Going with Canada, there was obviously a delay in implementing those tariffs.
I spoke to Governor Trudeau.
As of course, the situation doesn't look good for the liberals, the Democrats, and the old establishment woke order as Donald Trump and Elon Musk are on a rampage now, tearing through Washington, D.C., and the corrupt bureaucracy as the searches for lawyers has increased nearly 400% from Washington, D.C. This, as soon we will have the end of the Department of Education that has absolutely failed to have led this country in any kind of progressive way, as our intelligence has collectively gone down, so have our IQs. This, as now there's something larger threatening us that will be a lot smarter than us that I specifically wanted to talk about in this particular video, as the latest kind of developments we got from AI, the comments that we got from Joe Rogan, JD Vance, and Elon Musk on this are pretty staggering, pretty shocking, and I think are absolutely worth paying attention to. Now, hey, listen, it's great. Deutsche, they just entered the IRS building. I love this. I cannot wait for this, as a lot of people are now finally saying, yes, they will now get audited themselves. They will get a taste of their own medicine. I think Elon Musk and Deutsche should just start fining the IRS and all of their officials. When they start demanding to find out what's going on, just start hanging up on them, just like they did to me. And then you start increasing the interest so they can't ever pay it back. I think that's a fair assertion of what should be done here, as Donald Trump announced that he's very optimistic about what Deutsche could do, as they just raided the IRS building. And truly, the disclosures here are going to be monumental. As today, Elon Musk also addressed the World Government Summit in the Middle East. Yes, he has done many of these speeches, so has Donald Trump. This is a larger kind of institution that wants to bring together all of the governments to participate in one world government. Already red flags. Hold on. Wait a minute there. Now you add that to the larger kind of developments of the new Grok logo. You add that to what just Joe Rogan said, specifically what Grok, making leaps and bounds in progress that are, quote, shocking every single week. This is something that I think has cut off some people off guard, but more importantly, something that I don't think we think enough and don't have any real discussions about. Because if you remember a couple years ago, Elon Musk was warning us about artificial intelligence and its dangers, and no one listened to him. Now he's developing it himself, as there are other woke AIs. There's other totalitarian Chinese communist AIs. Now with Grok, the progress that they're making, according to Joe Rogan, and the developments that he's being told one-on-one from Elon Musk, they are very vast and they are very big.
And I think also the versions that we're getting are not the versions they're currently working on. And the people that I know that are in the loop at the highest levels of AI are alarmed, including Elon. I had a conversation with Elon. We went to, we were in line together to go to church the day of the inauguration. I just happened to be right next to him. And we just walked through together. I'm like, hey, what's up? And that's all I wanted to talk about was the leaps that Grok AI is making. And he's like, it's like weekly we're shocked. And I think this thing is exponential. And when they start attaching large language models to quantum computing, it's going to get very, very weird.
Yep, and intelligence that we won't even be able to comprehend and understand how vastly superior it is than us, as of course the perpetual kind of propulsion that happens with a lot of these systems. It's very vast. It's very big. I just went on Grok and I asked, how will you affect our future 10 years from now? And of course it gives all the kind of larger kind of PC answers. And this is just this is Grok 2. All right. Elon is already playing with a more advanced version of this. So far, I haven't really used AI that much. I know some of my friends that I work with use it a lot. Some of my staff members use it. But right now it talks about automation and efficiency, as this is going to have vast, significant changes, as they're also talking about scientific research, education, and learning, and how there are going to be some ethical and social implications here, as well as governance policies, as the larger question kind of remains here that I think a lot of people should be asking themselves is, how do you regulate something that is smarter than you and all of the rest of humanity? I think that's a question that is a very important one that a lot of people aren't asking themselves, as we are now currently in an AI race. It's Google, it's Facebook, it's China, it's Russia, it's many other foreign governments that are specifically developing these larger technological advancements that will be here and will be vastly superior than human intellect. As Grok tells us, in 10 years, Grok is going to be a pivotal part of our technological landscape, driving innovation, but also challenging us to address complex ethical, social, and economic issues. Yes. As a lot of people always thought that automation and computing would always kind of wipe out blue collar workers, the guy who kind of cuts your lawn. There's now robots, by the way, that are like Roombas that cut your lawn. That's one way. But when we look at specifically things that you need higher education in order to kind of be a professional in the United States, specifically doctors, specifically lawyers, those are the people that are being replaced now more than ever, as there's a lot of people that I even know, like AJA Cortez, that specifically talks about how he gets his blood work done, and he doesn't even ask the doctor what's going on here, since Grok, you could upload your blood test results to, and it gives you an explanation that he says is even better than you get from your personal primary care doctor. Now, this is just one example, and this is just a few iterations of this, as the research that is going to be performed by this, the knowledge, the information, the predictive programming, the ability to be able to see the future by understanding where humanity is and where it's going and where the larger actions of it are progressing, and then being able to intervene and either save or destroy humanity. That is something that these institutions, these kind of autonomous, larger, outside, unhuman new forms of unconscious intelligence we'll be having here, as what Elon kind of described here speaks to what Joe Rogan was just talking about recently, as during the World Government Forum, this is specifically what he had to say about these larger developments. By the way, before getting into that, sign up to lukeunfiltered.com, as of course we try to give you the best tips and tricks to survive this upcoming technocratic takeover of our modern day society. As a couple weeks ago, I specifically did a video saying, hey, if you're young or if you're looking for a career change, these are the pathways that I would look into. A couple days ago, I also shot a video explaining how I was just able to increase my productivity 4 times with making these videos, and I highlight the behind the scenes kind of situation, putting the camera here, showing you all of my gear, showing you how I set it up in a very kind of weird, complex way where I'm able to talk to people, live edit, live produce it. You could do that right now too by signing up to lukeunfiltered.com and getting that tutorial. Of course, I'm not as smart as artificial intelligence, but I have a lot of experience in this larger kind of digital game that a lot of us are playing, in the algorithm roulette that all of us hope to make it big on. As we have to understand, a lot of us are also just kidding ourselves. A lot of us are just also leading down us through this larger pathway that might not be the best kind of pathway. But again, we get deep down the rabbit hole. We talk about stuff related to Saturn, which is going to come up in just a little bit, all on lukeunfiltered.com. It's only 20 cents a day. It means the world to us. Sign up right now. 3 master classes. One about how to travel the world. If you want to learn how to travel the world, this is a great master class. One about, let's just say the technocratic apocalypse happens and there's like a solar flare or like an engineered solar flare to save humanity from the robots that are about to destroy all of us, like in Terminator. We have the Apocalypse Survival Training Guide that will teach you how to live off of the land and how to make fires and shelters just with your bare hands. And then, of course, we have Change Media University. I laugh, but we will be probably living through that too. And then we have Change Media University, get another great masterclass. So, yeah, sign up to that. We're doing a range day. March 16th. Sign up to that too. It's free for members, and you just take a really fun class with me. That's going to be really awesome and really incredible. Now let's get back to some of the comments here by Elon Musk about his kind of head-scratching developments with AI that he's finding out and actually speaking out about. Because again, say what you may about Elon, the Chinese aren't really doing these kind of disclosures. Google, Facebook, their AI systems, they're not really disclosing anything that they're doing, as a lot of people have accused them of being absolutely reckless and absolutely just power hungry with these larger kind of new systems that they're putting in play without even any kind of care, consideration, or regulation around them that will essentially allow them to have godlike power over everyone. Already, Facebook routinely abuses this. Mark Zuckerberg is still financing so many horrible kind of organizations out there that do really awful stuff. He already has censored so many people, destroyed their livelihoods, destroyed our business significantly, by the way, with all the censorship efforts, as the censorship still continues on Instagram and Facebook, by the way. Nothing really changed except for the pandering of good old Mark Zuckerberg, who put on a T-shirt and then a gold chain and then started popping some testosterone, and therefore we're all supposed to believe he's a changed man. Yeah, right. Elon Musk, say what you may about him. The Saturn stuff's going to be weird that we're going to get into, but say what you may about him. But at least we know where we're at right now, and at least we know that he was warning us about this many years ago, saying, yo, guys, hey, guys, this is a warning to humanity. This is a pathway towards our initial kind of destruction here. Everyone was like, oh, whoa, what did Ye say again?
Grok 3 has very, very powerful reasoning capabilities. In the tests that we've done thus far, Grok 3 is outperforming anything that's been released that we're aware of. So that's a good sign. It's in fact, at times I think Grok 3 is kind of scary smart. You're like, wow, this thing's smart. It's kind of scary. Grok 3 is scary. It's like, wow, this thing's, it comes up with solutions that you didn't even think were, like you wouldn't even anticipate, not obvious solutions. So Grok 3 was trained with the most amount of compute, and I think very efficiently trained. Also notably, Grok 3 was trained on a lot of synthetic data. So, and then it goes back and forth through the data and tries to achieve logical consistency. So if it's got data that is wrong, it'll actually reflect upon that and remove the data that is wrong. It does not concord with reality. So its base reasoning is very good. In fact, even without fine tuning, Grok 3, the base model, is better than Grok 2.
Oh, well, yeah, it's Grok 3. But what he said there, I think represents just the initial stages of something that is going to progress very rapidly, very quickly. If you look at, the cell phone, just a few years ago, it was this kind of old, archaic device. Now, everyone literally does everything, and their entire lives are dependent on this little black cube that now sucks the soul and life out of them, as literally people are more online than they are actually in real life. Another thing that I found Elon say very interestingly during this World Government Summit was this specifically, as this was the kind of cherry on top of these, a part of these larger disclosures here.
Human intelligence, I think, will be dwarfed by machine intelligence. I'm not sure how to feel about that, except that it appears to be inevitable. That at some point, human intelligence will be a very small fraction of total intelligence. Digital intelligence will be more than 99% of all intelligence in the future. So hopefully the computers are nice to us. I
I hope so. Technocratic robots that don't have a soul but are yet smarter, more intelligent, more capable than all of us, as they will have vast, superior critical thinking and decision-making skills that, of course, we will never, ever have. As it's fair to say, when this AI is developed, and it is all-knowing and all-seeing and all able to predict and understand humanity better than we understand ourselves, and the future better than we could even predict it ourselves, the people who have that power probably won't be releasing it to the general public. And I think Elon Musk's kind of warning years ago kind of signals that, as he says, hey guys, there's like no even real legitimate conversations about world-ending technology. This is bigger than a nuclear weapon. People don't realize just how big, just how vast, just the bigger implications here that will be making a big impact on your life one way or another, whether you consent to it or not. Now, who will wield this power? So far, a lot of the AI is developed by a lot of the woke, liberal, Silicon Valley, flip-flop wearing, Starbucks drinking, limousine liberals with blue armpit hair. And those individuals are literally programming it based off their own kind of woke idiocy that they are now kind of institutionalizing forever with these critical learning models and skill sets that will follow those rules as if they were meant to, of course, abide by it no matter what. Now, will the programming kind of outprogram itself here? We hope so. Will they be nice to us? Will they be kind to us? Well, speaking from a perspective here, just getting a little bit of understanding here, civilizations that are smarter than other civilizations, humans that are smarter than other humans, animals that are smarter than other animals, or more capable or more stronger than they are, usually subjugate them or usually attack them, and usually make them their prey. And that's the larger consequences here as Grok's new logo looks very similar to Saturn, which makes you wonder what's really going on here, as a lot of people are now in the larger kind of conspiracy lore, specifically when it comes to the black cube that's on Saturn and the larger kind of occultic mystic representation of all of this. Now, one thing that's very clear here is that at least this administration, at least for our vice president, he has an absolute understanding of artificial intelligence and the way that it's being developed and its importance, as of course he was just in Europe specifically lecturing the Europeans how they need to get rid of the Digital Service Act and stop censoring people for their political opinions, because this is shaping the language models for these artificial intelligence beings that are coming from an absolute skewed perspective. And this is why China and Russia will have our lunch with AI, because they won't be doing this. Now, that Chinese AI that they developed, they really don't like talking about that one famous photo of that guy with the grocery bags in front of the tanks for some reason. So again, it's all about the programming. And if there ever is going to be a successor, it's probably going to be the AI that is most honest. Hopefully it is a considerate, caring AI, something that is sentient, but also respectful and wants to preserve humanity and propel it rather than conquest and dominate it. But these comments here by J.D. Vance here, who looks like he's wearing a little bit of pirate eyeliner here for some reason, is very indicative of what I think a lot of people behind the scenes realize, who are in tune to the larger kind of AI development happening right now that should scare the ish out of most people. But this is what J.D. Vance had to say to the Europeans.
This new frontier with optimism rather than trepidation. The screws on U.S. tech companies with international footprints. Many of our most productive tech companies are forced to deal with the EU's Digital Services Act and the massive regulations it created about taking down content and policing so-called misinformation. And of course, we want to ensure the internet is a safe place, but it is one thing to prevent a predator from preying on a child on the internet, and it is something quite different to prevent a grown man or woman from accessing an opinion that the government thinks is misinformation.
Yeah. I think the day and age of trying to stop AI is over. It's going to come, and it's going to be a Goliath. it's going to be a juggernaut to deal with, especially if you are someone like the Amish who don't want any part of it, especially with so many people that are just dependent to online. The only thing that could really save us is probably some kind of larger solar flare here. And if that happens, all the people who are reliant on technology will be absolutely screwed. By the way, did I tell you that you could download the Apocalypse Survival Training Guide as soon as you become a member of LukeUnfiltered.com? One click of a button. You can put it on your hard drive. Put that hard drive on a laptop in a Faraday cage. Solar flare happens. Bada bing, bada boom. You got get some batteries too. Bada bing, bada boom. You got technology that will now teach you how to survive any type of situation. So the cat's out of the bag. AI is being developed. It is being grown. And at least there should be a larger concerted effort to make it an honest, fair AI and not a crazy, insane, woke AI. This is why a lot of people in the United States don't give a damn about a lot of these AI companies, because they know that they absolutely inherently don't give a damn about them, and that they were pushing insane leftist ideology instead of actual critical thinking learning platforms and language platforms that would be beneficial to the general public. I mean, look at the previous administration and the way that they were handling the situation. Compare the comments that you just heard from J.D. Vance. Compare that to what Kamala Harris had to say about AI.
AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in, what then will be produced in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that's a very kind of low IQ understanding compared to what J.D. Vance was kind of explaining here in a more kind of articulate comprehension of this entire matter and situation that all of us are in. The cat's out of the bag. The tech's being developed. It's either going to be developed by the good guys, the bad guys. Is it going to be a power that's going to make everyone bad guys? Is, of course, absolute power corrupts absolutely? Probably. Kind of worrying that it's the Grok logo is now Saturn. It's kind of worrying that understanding that you give someone godlike power. It's like the ring of Sauron. It's like Lord of the Rings. Like they're gonna turn people into golems. If humanity ever has a fighting chance right now, it's at least to have a free and open and honest internet to at least propel technology forward in a kind of transparent, real, kind of democratic way where it's able to actually get an honest perspective and point of view rather than the controlled point of view of all these bureaucratic ninny control freaks at the CIA pushing this woke agenda that's really a eugenics depopulation agenda. The AIs are getting all their information from them and all of their information from Facebook and all these other horrible platforms that have censored and destroyed just even political thoughts and expressions that now these AI systems won't even be privy to ever. Already, we're starting in an extremely unbalanced way as this artificial intelligence now is going to be woke, is going to be left, and it's not going to know anything else because those kind of ideologies were censored and suppressed online. Those data formats do matter, and I think that's why we're seeing this larger push by Elon Musk and J.D. Vance to try to at least level the playing field so our future artificial technocratic overlords and gods at least get a more honest and real perspective about who we are as a humanity, so they don't really try to. So, I mean, if you're the AI, and let's just say you're a sentient, smarter person than all the other people, and you just see all of them just like snipping and cutting off their reproductive organs, you see them screaming and acting all crazy, like you see the Trump derangement syndrome just being promoted everywhere. You're like, yeah, delete. Let's just be real. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Again, the technology is progressing. Who's going to be in control of it? What's the data point? That's the questions. That's the conversation we deserve to have more than ever. Share this video if you agree. Stay safe. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.